Fredrin is usually going to pop up here.
Typical Fredrin.
Taking it, but then again, you kind of expect.
Good ban on Paquito. Mongolia came prepared.
Now, really,
Kaja Joy is always banned against BTR for some reason, and then Paquito is a good ban.
Usually the role
with Mongolia.
Okay. I like it, right?
Lapu's bad now? Oh yeah, Lapu doesn't feel the same anymore.
Solid choices too at the same time. Kufra alone, though, has had a phenomenal performance just in the hands of a lot of these great players so far, right? For the most part, even having that ability to
57% still voting for Indonesia.
The team is going to be crucial here. And like you mentioned, CC in the favor of Mongolia's lineup right now, right? But can they really play around this? We'll find out.
Wow, instant stars. Amazing day. Enough.
But this is the first match of the day.
How did I
pause and a breather?
Oh my gosh, just stop talking.
And Mongolia.
What the day right here? Oh yeah.
I'm so done.
You know, as we wait to jump into the teams have to manage that level 4. You know, getting those ultimates available as we jump in here.
Okay, game started.
This
nice.
game again, game number 1 between Indonesia and Mongolia in this best of 3, deciding on the tournament lives here for IESF.
Yo, Snake dropped the camera. Yo, look at the cam.
We're seeing more of the stable picks for these heroes to survive early game. We have Electro Flashes. We have 2 Impure Rage for Cerezo as well and for Moreno. Capitalizing on those spokes. We've seen the Impure Rage hybrid build yesterday.
What was already done?
For damage heroes,
57% Indonesia.
You have that adaptive damage which you can actually utilize. But knowing that the X-Org doesn't have any mana, you get extra attributes for that.
Yeah, and I think, you know, again, look at this. Like, this is what you need to do, especially if you lock in the Grok here. Vin has to get the information he needs. I like, too, that we've seen this kind of variations between Grok players alone. And do they take that focusing mark emblem? Do they take the tank emblem, you know, and play around with that? Because really, so far, I love it when these roams take the focusing mark. I love to see
Amazon.
it on
Amazon sponsoring this?
Wow. Since yesterday, yes.
But occasionally, yeah, you will see it on Grok here. So, you know, nothing too crazy or out of the ordinary early on. You're just going to kind of wait that 30 seconds for that first turtle. If they can get some of these battle spells out early on, that would be great. You see them, they're going to go ahead and focus Vin a little bit, trying to get that flicker out if they can defensively here.
I think both draft is pretty good.
Yeah, still safe, still on level 2.
They both have strong parts.
Versus the focusing mark. Probably now he's capitalizing on HP-based AoE damage.
I'm not sure how this EXP matchup goes on, but it seems like Edith is not doing very well against Export.
Wave of like
Export late game is pretty good.
Really honest, especially for minute 2. No wonder he just keeps on going on to the river,
especially against this jungle.
But now, first turtle up for the game.
First turtle fight.
Zoran with Super Ken. No members yet following up for reinforcement, but maintaining the border here, we have Indonesia and Mongolia present.
Okay, less than half health here. Both junglers can come down to the last insanity. Already going to use Super Ken securing it. But look at the damage there with that last insanity. Massive damage. 2 will fall here for Mongolia. They also lose the turtle. Good pick up there for Indonesia.
Great start for this export pick by Cerezo. Indonesia making
that was bad.
That early game damage with his own emblem as well. So Impure Rage benefiting more of the damage as well as an HP regen. You have more ways to survive your Ferrado armor and go into fights like this. You have more contention just like that.
I mean, look how much pressure they're just putting here on ZXora right on his orange buff. They might not even allow him to get it, or they want to force that retribution as they do. Aizen going to take a little bit of damage. There's the last insanity. Once again, able to find multiple members. Can they follow up through it? Ken still there, but another member is going to fall for Indonesia. The response, it's a triple kill for ZXora. He was mad about them putting the pressure on the orange
was going to wipe them.
Okay, we have more ways to counter that. Zora takes an avenue, looks up on the window to how will they counter Indonesia. The Asher Aura, you have more ways of decimating more into the damage of Indonesia, but going back to that replay, we've seen the last insanity being used over and over again. Once it's activated, it's one thing of having the burst right onto him. Look at that, burst right onto Aizen, onto Ethan as well. One thing they had in for return was Forbid, where it's hard for them to get a counter going as well as go in for the slow. This time around for the early game of an Eve, which is stronger with the poke potential.
Still even.
That's huge for, you know, anytime you have this Martis here, he's also got that kill.
That could have been really bad, like game
It's always a threat, right? The way the Desmond works here. And now that he's got that triple kill under his belt, he's going to be the one confidently getting into Indonesia's jungle, right? And this will all lead into, again, that next turtle where you're going to see them both kind of set up here. Now, that was a great kind of interaction between what Indonesia wanted to do. They wanted to press that pressure, but still, you know, Mongolia turns out finding a win. Looking at the items here.
Yeah, despite the lead here, we're seeing at Brody, we're seeing Bebix picking up the blade of Heptasis.
Martis built the Hunter Strike first item.
He needs more damage. Right now, Turtle is up. We have Mongolia on site. We have Super Ken and Vin now looking up for a space to even take this turtle now.
Sokken's not even going to be there, right? So this is a full force for the most part. Bebek's going to go ahead and clear that mid lane. A 4 versus 4. They're going to clash out for it. The flicker comes through with the wild charge. Can they get the turtle? It is going to be secured once again by CXora. Now Super Ken on the run. Bebex makes it to the party. Chorizo trying to get out of here. Torn apart memory though. Will find the mark. He does fall. Turtle secured as well for Mongolia.
Despite the trade of 1-to-1, we're now seeing the threat of the Valentina having the ultimate of an Eve paired with the ultimate of Chorizo now having 2 kills on a row. So at this point, it's all in an all-out situation that they actually initiate team fights.
Look at Edith.
Going back on the replay.
He got CC like every 0.5 seconds.
The ultimates right into the turtle, but this time around, more of the damage dealers of Mongolia was there to respond. Bebix was just on the other hand using the free hit, releasing the turtle memory right on time, just about the minute or second that Indonesia flickered out for safety.
Oh, you've stole
I love that too. When you saw the replay, Vin literally just chilling there,
catch.
waiting for that wild charge. Now in the mid lane, once again, Moreno gonna have to flicker out. Can they follow up on the kill here? CXora might be hungry for this. Not gonna chance it though. They don't want to go under this turret just yet. Again, economy-wise, it's pretty much even still. Completely even.
Mongolia is over-rotating right now.
Sides of the map.
But so far it's working.
Look at this, the play on top. Socken could be in trouble. They're going to go in. Ethan popping out this blazing duet from Socken. A couple hits away. Still under the turret, though. Will finally go down. And another kill comes through here. Able to find the trade. It's a 1-for-1. Does Indonesia have a response? They're going to chase Mongolia back a little bit. But ultimately, it's just down to that.
Zoro went in too deep.
I mean, the turret was already gone, so that doesn't count.
With
but
ultimate because it was down at the moment, as well as for Bebix.
The Martis trade is worth it.
No response for burst, but that time they just want to just have a safe place back, because if they committed to those kinds of things, they might actually go down as well. So having a restricted path of not even committing to those kind of small mistakes can actually give Mongolia a chance to get back and get those items right in. So not being even or being ahead from the goal of Indonesia, you just want to be in part of the objectives that they're doing right now.
They're contesting
as they took the first turret up top.
Yeah, for the most part, right? Dead even.
Krog is in the back position, really bad position. Oh, shit!
Finn taking quite a bit of damage. There's a setup. Blazing Duet's going to be the follow. Ethan's in trouble. Trapped. Has to flicker out. Turtle will be secured by Indonesia, but here comes CXora. It's a decimate again, and they're unleashing here, trying to run away. Can't get out of there. It's a turtle, but at what cost here for Indonesia?
What a counter go. They waited for the blazing duet to burn out. Just at that moment, Forbid has the opportunity to lay down that chessboard and to poke everybody out. From the moment that the burst was just throwing through a quadrant.
Bro, if Indo loses, then they're out.
Like
out of the tournament.
And feed Bebix the kill that he needs. Now standing on this level.
There's no going back. This is the last match for both teams.
This Brody now has the Malefic Roar paired with the
I mean, still best of 3.
No, by just going around the map, not being touched at all, that's dangerous. That's just damage part of it rising up to the defense of Indonesia.
Yeah, and again, it's
if
tough,
Mongolia
right?
secures Lord here, it might be an 11-minute game again. It might be.
Not there
yet.
Lord
fight's going to be important.
On the quad, right? You need some time for the goal to go in your favor. One thing that you know, until just recently, the past couple minutes here, they were keeping it close together. That's great, but at this point, they've got to have a response, you know, and I was saying this earlier, Ethan's going to jump in again. Nice rage there, finding 3 into the RWM. There's the wild charge. Can they have a counterplay? Super Ken's in trouble. Aizen able to pick up the kill. 2 down for Indonesia. CXora sees blood here, but will back off. 3 members on the run. Mongolia coming through. It is only Ethan that fell there.
Ethan with a great catch from that bush, completing
just reminded me of Charm.
Tyrant's Rage and Tyrant's Revenge. having an advantage in gold. Now the items now slowly building up. Defense items present. We have Dominance Ice as well as Athena's Shield for the protection of the Edith against Moreno. Now he's on level 10 with the pokes. She might as well wants to secure that way of like not being burst down quickly. For the side of Eve now, he has the glowing one as well as the Ice Queen one. That's slow. That Scorch Power burning once it hits. Having the Impure Rage right now amplifies more of the damages now that the Eve that can do for the side of Mongolia or Indonesia.
Yeah, this is tough, right? Once again, lead now, 3,000 from Mongolia. This first Lord of the game is up. Ethan gonna just go ahead and poke down a little bit. They get with onward. Chorizo's a little bit in trouble. He does have the immortality though. Not to mention he's still got the last insanity, but I'm not
cannot
sure.
get this for free.
Want to contest this. Superkin trying to get in position here.
Frog armor's down though.
Yep, Superkin there.
This seems like Virgin has a very good chance of stealing this.
He goes in with a blinker, secured by ZX Sora. The fight's gonna break out. Zorizo on the run. Finn goes and falls. Zorizo still alive, has to back off here. Mongolia just playing the smart game.
Oh my
Super
god,
Ken was trying to be there for
man.
that retribution battle, not able to get it though.
Is this the Unigo?
Good stun.
Mongolia Unigo?
Members of Indonesia. Look at this.
Ethan Unigo?
Just jump, catches too. Zorizo and Super Ken. How do you manage to press that precision? Having that decisiveness to even steal that objective. A great way of diverting the attention of Indonesia. Who do you take? The marksman or even the mage hero of Mongolia? But just at that point, Ethan knows what to target here. For most of the team fights,
oh shit, 11 minutes? Is it another 11 minutes?
Properly, it's a team fighting danger for Indonesia.
I mean, Kufa doesn't have Flicker here, Edith doesn't either. I don't think they can end for sure.
Point, right? A lot of these
maybe they can get a turret off of this. If they get any outer turret, it's already
a lot of these fights,
super
and,
ahead.
Whether that's on Forbid or Ethan starts things up and followed by Isaac, it's just all on point.
Next
this
Lord.
is what I was talking about, OSX. Before we even got to the draft, I said Mongolia, they garnered a lot of this attention, a lot of these fans, because when people started watching them compete around the world and even back in Riyadh and in their own qualifiers, they were like, wow, look at this team. Look what the type of synergy that they have is some of the best in the world, and you're seeing it happen right here in this game number one. They've garnered themselves a great lead here. Now, Indonesia, what do they have to do? What do they have to do to bring themselves back into this game?
Right now, Brody has an additional item picked up earlier. He has the Demon Hunter Sword, bred with the weight of half the seas, as well as the Malefic Roar. Right now, this is just piercing power through the sustain and the tankiness of a Fredrin and as well as Finn. So that's one that they need to be careful. They have the damage department now that we're talking about back in the draft, that the damage should come from Bebix alone, even at this state of the game. 12 minutes, they have the tools right now. If you're saying how will they get back in this game, probably get more items for Saken.
I mean, it's definitely a comeback for Indonesia. Their team comp is not that bad.
What they need to do now is get more time here for their marksmen.
It's just,
and as well
if
as
Mongolia gets a free Lord here, the enhanced ones,
if they continue,
I don't know. That might be actually GG.
Slowly by 4 Mongolia, because if they keep on coming in those team fights,
gonna push the goal lead to like 10k.
Things could go wrong if they want to pull out something really good in the late game.
It's already 7k goal lead.
The way I see it is like, if you're Indonesia, number one, how do you get to Bebex, right? For the most part, he's popping off here, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of teams opt for Brody. You can kind of just get those marks off, and then, you know, you really don't have to be too close comparison to other marksmen, and then you just...
And food poisoning meta.
For the most part, you try to profit off that, right? And it makes it even harder when you're working against, again, real-world manipulation, trying to get through there. So you're not only trying to avoid getting set up from Ethan, the power of the Kupra is the fact that he can just go ahead and charge up and slingshot in basically like this from different angles. You have to be able to
respond to Mongolia team name
and avoid it, right? And then
like
figure out how to get the
squad name.
figure out how to get the Bebex.
Oh shit!
As this Lord now half health here, you can see them trying to zone them out. Super Ken's got to get in position here.
Let me see that real quick.
They might reset this. They might try to actually initiate this. Mongolia is waiting here patiently. Ethan's going to jump in, finds the mark he's looking for. Saken's going to unleash, though. They actually get rid of him quickly. Moreno will fall, and they're still going. Saken's going to fall as well. They're losing a ton of damage here. They have to get out. Ethan going to flicker in right on Super Ken. Can't get away. 3 down for Indonesia.
There's damage all over. Ethan getting the right points, the right set, and the right person to knock off Moreno was the first one to fall down. down.
minute.
He has the
Wow.
ultimate of the Eve now in the base. Mongolia, here they go, knocking slowly.
They gotta clear the
never
minions
mind.
here. A couple
Clear the
hits
minion,
away.
clear the
Crystal's gonna be
minion.
worked on, but with that last insanity,
nice defense.
Rizzo buys a little bit more time for
Sheesh.
Indonesia. This could be the call. Mongolia decides to make
defense,
their
nice
way to the
defense.
Lord. They're quite low though. They might have to be careful about this. All the members of Indonesia will be up, but can they stop this in time? It looks like they might just call to defend. Lord's gonna be taken care of very quickly.
Last
10K gold
last
lead.
ultimate just fall down, opening up the base for a siege march by the Lord a few seconds from now. If you're talking about how will they get a comeback here, let's check onto the defense.
What the fuck?
of Fredrin right now. Or
Look at EDF build. Is that real? Corrosion side? Not corrosion. Oh, what do you call that? Calamity Reaper?
No,
not Calamity Reaper. What's the name of the item? Something side. Star something.
Damages that they can get from Bebex.
Starlium side, yes. Starlium
So what
side.
they can capitalize is just by having the right
Mongolia is cooking this game.
Mongolia right now, but can they do it?
Jeez.
They gotta deal with the Lord first. It's gonna be about half health. Crystal also at half health here for the base.
This is not possible to win
Gotta clear these
for
waves, manage
Indonesia.
them, keep them at bay here for now. That's what you
miracle
see.
needs to
Socket also
happen.
waiting for his moment with Blazing Duet. Lord will
Like,
finally go
I don't
down.
know.
Ethan gonna jump in, find Cerezo, but can't commit just yet. What they're happy for is these base turrets all going down.
If they make it to a 25 minutes
Could be up
game,
to this. Once
or
again,
somehow,
Ethan gonna charge
and
up
they can
here.
probably make
Ren
a
goes
comeback
in
here,
and
but-
finds Cerezo with the Blazing Duet
nice.
from Sakin. They don't have enough damage to respond yet. Aizen just unleashing here with a
GG.
Primal Wrath.
Wow.
Crystal worked on. And Mongolia will take game number 1 against Indonesia.
Out?
Almost 16 minutes.
Yikes.
Having the capital of damage and as well as defense and setup.
Mongolia, a little shaky performance in the beginning of the tournaments, but
completely having
pulling
a
up.
great amount of targets right onto Indonesia.
another
At some point we felt
revenge
there is
match if
still
they
a chance
win
for them
and
for having
advance
a comeback.
against Egypt.
But one thing that was kind of been missing.
Masarap.